Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your purchase of your JAYFLIGHT SLX 184 BS travel trailer. Guys picked a great little trailer here. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration. Your awning, I'll run that out. You'll see how much room you're going to need to have that come in and out. And then on your off camp side, of course, your slide. Leave room for that to come in and out unhindered. Preferably nothing hanging over top, and then leave yourself a nice walking space. Because the next thing you're going to need to think about is where your power and water connections are going to be. Those are going to be at the rear of the unit, behind your tire. Here's your power. Big long 30 amp cord stores right inside there. And then your city water is going to be right at the rear of the unit as well, and that's where you hook up at the campsite. Once you arrive, unhook your hitch. First thing you do is level your unit. Have a hand crank on here. To the right will bring it up, to the left will bring it down. Once you got your unit level, next thing you do is stabilize it. Your unit has rear stabilizing jacks. Look for your crank here. Any 3/4 inch hand crank that'll run these down. Now you can use a drill gun and an impact driver. If you do, I recommend you slow down when you get to the bottom, because remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. You only want to run these down just until they're taut. As I run them down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Stabilizing jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Use your 10% off coupon, grab a 4-pack of those. Run these down just until they're taut. Once they're nice and tight on top of your stabilizing jack, go to the other side. Once you have these down, the unit's level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. Again, over on your off-camp side, your power cord stores inside your unit. Simply open this up, pull your cord out. When you're done, the whole thing will tuck right back up inside there. At the end of that 30 amp cord, if you need to plug in at home, there's your 30 to 110 adapter that comes in your convenience pack. Got your power plugged in. Let's go ahead and hook up our water. City water connections, where you're going to connect 4 campsites. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Use this when putting water into your city water connect. Hook that up. Hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Right next to your water connect is your hot water heater. All we're going to do at this point is open it up and make sure our drain plug's back in. You may have left it out last time you were camping. Drain in your hot water heater. Get that in there nice and snug, nice and tight. Once that is, you can go ahead and turn on your hose. After your hose has been on for a little bit, go inside and open up your water taps. Once water's flowing out of there, you know that the air is out of the lines, and you can go ahead and shut off those taps and turn on your hot water heater from indoors. If you're gonna go camping and you're not gonna hook up just city water connection, your potable water or freshwater tank is right here. No need for a water pressure regulator. Simply fill this up with a hose. 2 ways to tell when it's full. 1, there's an overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check your battery and freshwater and black and gray tanks. Hold your freshwater button down, that'll tell you when this is full. And just remember, when using this potable freshwater is when you're going to want to use your water pump. Don't use your water pump when hooked up to city water. It's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up to camp now. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit. Again, your fresh water. There's your low point drain. There's the back of your AC unit. Your slide. On your slides, you want to add the longevity to the life of your wipers. You want to keep them pliable. They actually have a fluid that you can spray on these that keeps them nice and flexible. Again, your power. Your black and gray holding tanks. Your city water connect. Hot water heater. Here's where you plug in your cable at the campsite. Spare tire with a cover. Here, the stabilizing jack. Your awning, I'll run that out in a moment. It's really cool. Your speakers are on the end of your awning, so they point down toward your campsite instead of out at everyone else's. Here's the vent for your microwave. That is a flue for your furnace. If you're running your furnace, steer clear of that. It'll get rather warm. Down below that, your low point drains for when you're hot and cold water when you're hooked up at a campsite. One on the other side is for your potable water. This is a 110. These are access to the back of your fridge for technicians. Again, your pass-through storage. You can, instead of having the foot on up front, you can put this wheel on the front. The propane, lefty-loosey to open. Check your battery terminals. Again, make sure they're nice and tight. And that about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. First thing I like to point out coming in any unit is where the fire extinguisher is. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming right up here on this wall, I'm going to start by going to the awning. I'm going to run this awning out, show you how far to run it out. I know it sounds like a simple task. You think all you do is press a button to run it out, but these awnings will extend past where you need to run them to. So run them until you see this white flap fall down to 90 degrees here, and you can see your black bar. That's as far as you want to run that out, because if you see, it will run past that. So keep an eye on it and run it down to that far. As far as you want your speakers to be pointing straight down, everything will be perfect. Up above that, as I use my thumb to bring that in, interior and your exterior awning light. Next to that's where we'll bring our slide in. Bring your awning the rest of the way in here. Got our awning light. Coming here to our control panels. Slam locks. Close better when they're slammed. Battery operate, or there's your check your level of your batteries. There's your freshwater button. I told you you can hold down to tell when your potable water is full. And your black and gray tanks. Keep an eye on them and dump as necessary. Here's where you turn on your water pump if using potable water. Your water heater if hooked up to gas here. Water heater if hooked up to electric here. 110 with USB port, or 110 with GFCI reset. A 12 volt cable hookup for a TV. If you do put a TV in here, that is a digital channel enhancer, that little button that turns on that green light. Make sure that green light's on before running your digital channel scan. It'll allow you to pick up more channels. You have a remote for this IRV technology sound system. We got on Bluetooth. Let's switch to FM. See if we can pick up a channel in here. There we go. So it's dual zoned. Shut it off indoors, now it's on outdoors. Shut it off outdoors. Or turn it on both. AM, FM, auxiliary, Bluetooth. Touch it once to mute it. Hold it in to shut it off. a self-explanatory microwave. Down below that, for your stove top, you have a light and a fan. You will turn these to light them with a stick lighter. There's your furnace heat release, which is also where you turn it on over here. Leave that running. We'll shut that off. You'll notice your furnace takes a few minutes for the fans to shut off. They all do. Coming into your bathroom, I want to tell you, you have a hand crank open vent in here. Your bunk areas have their own individual one-touch lighting. Handle to get up there. 110's here. So your tabletop will lift up off this metal end. You just lift it up and out. Tuck in your leg. Set this tabletop down on top of these. Put your back cushions on top and gives you another sleeping area. In the middle here, you do have another hand open crank. Smoke alarm. Your AC unit. Turn that on. Shut that off. Emergency escape window. This is a template for the techs if you ever decide to get this whole unit wired for solar. Leave that on there for future reference. Come back over here to your fridge. You can turn it on battery or power. Over here's your temperature change. Getting your heat. Below your bunks is your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. A few 15s in there, a 30 and a 40. Highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. You never know when you're gonna blow one. And then lastly, over here at the bottom of your bunk is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Now the reason I mention this is 12 volt, your unit doesn't have a battery disconnect. So if you're out dry docking and you have nothing plugged in charging your battery, before you take off for the day, use one of your disconnect one of your battery posts to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. Well, covers everything on the inside. So let's act like we're leaving the campsite. I just shut off my main lights here, and then I can see all of the individual lighting. And I need to walk through and shut off quite a bit of it, but don't have far to go in this little unit. And last there, bunk. And our bathroom. No switch. Come back up, turn back on our interior lights, and hit slide in. So as I'm bringing this in, doors and drawers. Not so much in this unit, probably the door to your fridge and the door underneath your kitchen area here. But make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. No objects in the way. Slides in, shut off our light, exit our unit. Lock and deadbolt your unit. You don't want the horror story of your door coming open. Lift and turn this handle. Tuck away your steps. Unhook your cable, water, power, and bring up these rear stabilizing jacks. Once them four things are done, come to your low point drain, open up those. Some places you do it at the dump station, some places at the campsite, depending on how much water you got. Come around if you're out dry docking, you can open up this low point drain and empty your freshwater tank. Come to your hot water heater. Last thing you're gonna drain here, you're gonna pull on this pressure release valve. That's gonna spew a lot of hot water out of there. Don't worry, it's not gonna hurt anything in here. Once that's done, snap that back down, otherwise your door won't close. And then you can pull this bottom drain. Hook up your hitch and head up to the dump station. And at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's gonna be way back here at the rear of the unit on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Hit there, hook up your 10-foot hose, and pull your black holding tank. That's the one on the right here. After it sounds like that one's no longer draining, close it and open up your gray water tank. That's going to be your cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. It's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. And you can conveniently and sanitarily store your sewage hose right in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. We hope you enjoy this JAYFLIGHT for many years to come. Happy camping.